pile 1, ready for turn 25. I think this will be, hopefully this is the closing chapter in this playthrough. We've defeated the big bad twice. We need to defeat him 2 more times. We have 1 scheme twist that is of consequence to us, 3 more and we lose. As a result of an earlier hit, Master Strike, I'm down to 2 cards here. This is one of the interesting things that you can do with discard effects. You can discard a card by other means and actually get the discard effect of that card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card using Willow's Slayer activation spell. And we got the glorified bricklayer, which will also allow me to draw a card. But the first thing we have to do is discard a card or advance the dark. Well, I don't want to advance the dark. I want to discard a card. So we're going to discard the potential Slayer. Discarding her allows us to advance the light. So we'll get the light advanced up to dark 1. Then we have Xander's glorified bricklayer, which allows us to draw a card. And we get this card. This is starting to look pretty good. He has his little Scooby effect here, which is advance the light if I've played another Scooby card, and I have. So I get to advance the light. So now we're up to light 1. This is looking really good. Now we have my Will Be Done, which is unfortunately right now unplayable. If I were to play this card, I could gain a card that costs 4 or less and put it directly into my hand, which is any of those. But the problem is that none of them have the magic class icon, which means that for every one of them I have to advance the dark twice, which is why Willow can be kind of a detriment sometimes. I would say I'm not going to play this card, so it doesn't actually enter play in any way. But I want to kill something, so we've got Xander's glorified bricklayer here with 2, and I've got a courage token. That gives me 3 attack. I should go ahead and take advantage of that and kill something here. The 3 are really the only ones that I can go after. Now that we're on the light side of the light-dark track, their bonus for their attack power is gone. It's been negated. So they are now 3 to kill. So we're going to use this, the Xander card, and this to get our 3 attack and defeat the 3, which then goes into our personal victory pile. We do not get to advance the light because it happened at the bronze. Only at Downtown or Sunnydale High do we get to advance the light. But I think this was a productive turn considering there were only 2 cards to start with. I think that worked out really well. So we're going to discard and draw up to 6. Draw a fresh new hand of 6 cards. Okay, so I realized I just screwed up. I should have drawn a card from the villain deck to start the turn, and for whatever reason I did not. I don't recall doing it. If I had, it would have been either a scheme twist, a bystander, a master strike, or an actual villain, and Gaknar was already sitting there. So, unfortunately, I know for a fact I did not draw a card, so I'm going to have to draw one. And let's see if we can recover from everything. I think we're going to have a problem. This actually changes some things a little bit, unfortunately. But let's see if I can sort of rewind and do this. So the scheme twist would have gone here because we were on the dark side. And then that would have bumped us to light 1. And then the 2 things I did that advanced the light were I used Xander to advance the light, and I used a potential Slayer to advance the light. So actually the light would have been at 3. And I think that's the only thing that really would have changed. So I know it's kind of cheating at this point, but it's the only way that I can recover what I just did. So I think that's all right. Rewinding it back, we moved from dark 2 to light 1. I don't think it had an impact on anything else other than, the light is now at 3 instead of 1. It allowed us to kill the 3 anyway. So I don't think it didn't actually change anything as a result in a way that really mattered. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to do our 26th turn. This time we're actually going to remember to draw from the villain deck. And it's a Master Strike. Oh boy. So now there are 4 Master Strikes over here. That means first we need to move this all the way to dark 3 again, which is not good. And then we need to discard 4 random cards. That really hurts. So we're just going to take these 4 here and discard them all. What did I end up discarding? Watcher Initiative, and I lost Research Guy. What do I get to keep? I have a Wound and a Watcher. Would have been nice to have been able to discard a Wound. Alright, and then player 2 here. Take these 4 and discard them. What do we got? Initiative, potential, Watchers, and that. Oh, it's horrible. Wow, I got beat up pretty bad there. Okay, so I got Prophecy Girl though. And that's really the only attack I have right now, unfortunately. And I only have a Watcher card. I can't really do anything. That was pretty crippling, unfortunately. For 2 turns it's going to be crippling. Because I'm not going to be able to do anything with this. Thankfully, Sunnydale's mostly cleared out. We're not going to have to worry too much about escape villains or other things like that. We do need to start worrying about the scheme twist though. So this kind of sucks. I can't really do anything on this turn. I'm going to have to discard my hand, draw to 6, and move on. We hit that 5th Master Strike, and oh, that's horrible when we hit that one. And there's the other wound. Alright. So, now, let's draw again, and we get Hellhounds. Oh boy, we get to advance the dark. Alright, so we're advancing the dark. We hit the bottom here, which is trigger the big bad dark. The big bad's dark is to play a villain from the villain deck, so we slide this down. His ambush has been activated. And we get another one, which also advances the dark. Alright, now we need to go ahead and finish this though. This has to move to dark 1. And then we advance again to dark 2. So now we're on dark 2. Whew, that is just brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Alright, and I have a Wound and I have a Watcher. I see no reason right now, because I can't do anything else, to not do the healing ability of the Wound here. So I can do this right now. If I don't recruit any heroes or defeat any villains on my turn, I can KO all of the wounds from my hand, which is what I'm going to do. So we're going to KO that wound, discard the Watcher to end my turn. Now Sunnydale is filling up with stuff again. Alright, now we got a full hand. Let's see if we can hold on to it. It's a scheme twist. Oh, this is not good. We're up to 3. We might suddenly lose here. Takes us to light 1. That really hurts. We have 1 more scheme twist left that can kill us. I would say that at least we're on the light side, and if we can stay on the light side, and when we hit that 6th scheme twist, there are 3 more left in the deck. We had 8 total. If we can just stay on the light side, we'll be okay. Alright, we got old Broody Pants. That's going to help. We're going to play him definitely to advance the light. We've got a Wound. We've got a potential. We've got... Let's see here. I've got 3 attack, which will allow me to kill one of those Hellhounds. The Wound is... Again, it's just taking up space in my deck. I feel like it's not worth it to try and move the light to 3 with the potentials, so I could use both potentials to gain a courage token, but I think instead I want to just take care of killing off these hellhounds over here. So we're going to use that 3 for the hellhounds. And then we've got these 5 here. So we're going to kill, I'm just going to go ahead and kill these hellhounds right here. Goes into his personal victory pile. And then I have 5 from which to buy something. What's a good one? I think the Tai Chi Focus one is good. Angel's Tai Chi Focus card is a good one. Can't do a 2 and a 3. I mean, I could buy a 2 and hope that I pull a 3 over here, which I didn't. I pulled a 6. Alright. That ends Player 2's turn. Alright. I believe we're on turn 29. I've kind of lost count. We got hit so hard there. Alright, let's draw this, see what it is. It's another hellhound. Alright, so we're going to advance the dark once. This still keeps us on the light side at least. Let's see what we can do. We can use Angel's Tai Chi Focus to advance the light. He gets +2 attack for being in the light, so that's 5 right there. That's going to be 8. We've got a potential, we've got 1 Scooby, which I can't rescue bystanders unless I have another Scooby. I'm going to play this to draw a card. Let's see what we get here. Got a Watcher. Alright, now we have to choose to discard a card. So we can either, let's just say that these are still in my hand right now. Let's think about what's happening here. So I've got enough right here between these 2 cards to attack the Master a 3rd time. So we can go after him with those 2. My question was whether I could get enough attack to kill like a Hellhound possibly. But I can't get 1 more attack from anywhere, unfortunately. Actually, I forgot about this. Plain Xander here says that if the light is 3, I can defeat a villain. What I probably would do is use this to discard the potential Slayer and raise the light to 3. I think we're going to do that. So I'm going to discard the potential, which will raise the light level to 3. And now we've got Xander's Latent Soldier Know-How ability, which is awesome. If the light is 3, defeat a villain. So what you kind of want to do is avoid defeating villains that have fight special abilities, because if you defeat even if you use it to defeat a villain, you still have to deal with whatever the fight is of that villain, whatever the fight ability is. So what I'd like to do is probably defeat Halfric, because she's worth a lot of victory points, and that's probably the only reason to do it. Otherwise I would pick one of the Hellhounds, but they're a lot easier to kill, so let's just kill Halfric. Let's get Halfric out of the way. And like I was saying, you can't really skip this part, unfortunately. So I was like, well, let's kill Halfric anyway. I'll gain a wound. It's not a big deal. I have 1 wound already, so now I've got 2 wounds in the deck. Actually, I'm sorry, not this deck. This deck, I did have a wound, which I was able to KO, so I'm just going to be gaining a new wound. So Halfric is defeated, but I take a wound, which goes into my discard pile over here. So now that we've sorted all of that out, these cards are in play now. So I've got 9 attack. Unfortunately, the other 2 aren't going to matter. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of this situation and whack the Master again. So we're hitting the big bad. This is going to be number 3. So we'll take the next to last card here. We might still do this. This is getting really close. And it is King of Vampires. What does it say down here? Advance the light 3 times. Each other player discards a random card. Alright, so this player unfortunately is going to be targeted with having to discard a card. But this player gets to advance the light 3 times and gets 4 victory points. So let's do the advancing of the light 3 times first. So this is 1, which means this comes back to 1 and I gain a courage token. That was 1, and now we advance it 2 more times. It brings it all the way back to light 3. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Then this guy has to discard a card, unfortunately. And it's a random card. So we'll pick, oh, the third one down. What is it? Oh, it's a potential. We don't need that right now. That's the end of the turn here. I have 2 recruit actually that I haven't used yet. I could use it now. Why don't I go ahead and use it and grab old Rudy Pants here. He's got 2 attack and he advances the light. It's a really good card for only 2. So we'll go ahead and grab him. Oh, there's I Owe You Pain. I don't know if we've seen this one yet. This is a really awesome card for its price. It's only 3. It has 3 attack. The only downside is that you have to discard a card if you're going to use it. Otherwise, you have to advance the dark one, which sometimes you don't want to do that. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you want to do it because you might have a Buffy card that only works when we're on the dark side of the track. So 1 card I have to shuffle to get the other 5. So we'll do that now. Got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Full hand of 6 cards. There's not much left of that villain deck. There are still 3 Scheme Twists and a Master Strike in there. And I believe 1 more Bystander. I can't remember if we went through both Bystanders yet or not. Alright, so we're at, I believe, turn 30. I may be skipping a few here, but I think we're at turn 30 because I had 2 turns that went by so fast because I only had 2 cards. Alright, what do we got? It's sweet. He slides down. He has an ambush, which is each player chooses a card and passes it to the left. This could be a game changer. We're on the light side of the track. If I can swap a card with the other player that can give me what I want, then I can do some serious stuff here. So I've got a bunch of cards with recruit points that I'm probably not going to want. Over here we've got Initiative Soldiers, Tai Chi Focus, My Will Be Done, which is gain a card and put it into your hand, which is I Owe You Pain is right there. Tai Chi Focus would give 4 attack. This is 2. That would be 6. The other option is swapping this card over, and if I swap this card over, I could gain a courage token by discarding that. And I'll get to draw a card here too. So how about, I think we can win the game here. So I think we can end it on this turn. I think the way we do that is we do the Tai Chi Focus one, which will give player 2 over here 4 attack because we're on the light side, and 4 attack and 2 attack is 6. Plus, if I can get a courage token, it'll be 7. If I discard the potential Slayer over here, then I can get 7. I don't even have to play this card at all because I don't need to buy anything. Recruiting more heroes doesn't add to victory points. All that matters is your personal victory pile over here. So I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to swap this card for a Watcher. There we go. So now we got those 2 cards over here. Now the game is going to end. I can already see it coming. So we've got these 2 attack cards here. These are a couple really good attack cards. This one was much better if it's on the dark side of the track. Unfortunately, it's not. But we have our potential Slayer here that we can discard. So what we're going to do is we're going to discard her. I am not playing this card, by the way, the one that lets you draw a card. I'm not going to play it. So we're going to discard that to advance the light, which means we gain a courage token and move back to light 1. So now I have a courage token. Now as a result, because we're on the light side of the track, Angel gets +2 attack on this card. That's 4. Buffy only gets 2 here for 6. but that's just enough because we just need this one other one for 7 to get the master card. So we're about to beat the big bad for the 4th and final time, but the reward for beating him on the big bad tactics card could be something that adds additional victory points, like rescuing a bunch of random bystanders. So there might be some good stuff coming. These are unplayed cards, so I'm going to leave them in an unplayed state. They're in my hand for all intents and purposes, these two here. So we're going to take the courage token. There's the 6. We're going to dispatch with the courage token here, and we're going to hit the big bad for the 4th and final try. And we get Fruit Punch Mouth. I was figuring this was the one that was left. Advance the light twice, draw cards equal to the light. Well, this isn't really going to change much, but if we advance the light twice, it goes to light 3, and I get to draw cards equal to the light, so I get to draw 3 cards, which gave me a couple initiative soldiers. So here's an interesting thing, is that I'd like to maybe consider seeing if I can take something out for another victory point. I have an opportunity to do it here, I believe. I don't think it's explicitly mentioned in the rule book anywhere exactly what happens after you beat the 4th big bad. It just says after you beat the big bad 4 times, you win. But and we have beaten the big bad the 4th time, but there's special abilities on that card that apply, and I think you're allowed to complete your turn. There's an optional rule for the game that involves a final. It's called a final showdown, where people actually fight the big bad card itself and try to defeat it. And as part of that explanation, the very first thing it says is after you beat the big bad for the 4th time, you collect the tactic card and do whatever the thing says, and then you complete your turn as normal, which includes drawing your 6 cards, but in this case it's not going to matter because the game will end. So I think actually the player who beat the 4th big bad should be allowed to complete their turn as normal and see if they can gather any additional victory points. So we're going to go ahead and let that slide here, and then maybe I can go Google, look on Board Game Geek, and see if there's like an official ruling yet. This game just came out, so there's not a whole lot of discussion to find. I may end up having to ask the question myself. I think that's a good question to ask. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get a card. So I'm going to go ahead and use her ability to draw a card. The downside is that I have to discard a card or advance the dark. We're going to go ahead and draw the last card that's in here, and it's Sophus. All right, so this will actually help me because I'm going to discard. Actually, this is not going to help me. I don't think it's going to help me. But let's say we're going to go ahead and discard the Watcher because I don't want this to give me trouble. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that 3rd attack. I was hoping to get a 3rd attack. If I could get one more attack, I could kill one of those Hellhounds and get one more victory point. But I think we're done. That's it. Game is over. So let's go ahead and tally up the victory points. It's kind of to just get a survey of the area here and just kind of see what happened. We had 3 scheme twists. We had 4 master strikes. Things were getting really, really nasty. I'm going to grab the villain deck and let's peek at what was left in here. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards left in the villain deck. So 3 of them are scheme twists. One of them is a master strike. So there's only 4 cards left, and I think there's a bystander in here, which means there's only 3 villains left in here. So there's Luke, there's a scheme twist, second from the bottom, Gentleman, Halfric, another scheme twist, Hellhounds, master strike, and scheme twist. Yeah, so we already went through both bystanders. I just forgot about the other bystander. I remember one of them, but not the other one. Yeah, things were looking pretty dire here at the end, but we pulled it off. It's a victory. All right, so speaking of victory, let's count up the victory points. So let's look at player 1's victory points. The big bad tactic cards. This one has a 4. There's a 3 that's 7. That's a 1 that's 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 for Lily the bystander here, 19 for Darla, 20, 21. So there's 21 victory points for player 1. So then let's look at player 2. Player 2 has a couple of big bad whacks as well in here. So here's 4, 5, 2 for the gentleman, so that's 7, 8, 9. There's the other bystander, Herbert the pig. Actually, no, these are the ones that we picked up. I think we picked up 3 of these in one big shot. So, yeah, so 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. 4 is 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Wow. Almost even. 21 to 20. That's the closest. I've played this several times in sort of a 2-player mode, and this is the closest I've gotten. Usually one just completely overwhelms the other one, and usually ends up getting 3 or 4 of the big bad hits, and ends up winning by a ton over the other one. But this one was insanely close. 21 to 20. I think what helped here was picking up those bystanders. There were a lot of bystanders in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bystanders in here. Pretty amazing. I really enjoyed this game. I definitely would have to give it an A grade. It's a great game. Minus 5 points for misspelling cemetery everywhere, including the rule book. But yeah, we did it in, I think in 30 turns. I'll have to review the video to make sure. But I think that was turn 30 that we finished it off in there. So, wow. I'm kind of impressed. It was looking really bad really quickly, and then all of a sudden we just turned it right around and pulled it off. I think it was all thanks to Sweet, actually. When you think about it, it was all thanks to Sweet. Otherwise we would have to go through another turn and potentially have some problems after that. So, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this playthrough, please like and share it. Leave comments and let me know what you think. If there are any issues that you saw, there might have been something I missed or forgot, or a rule I misinterpreted. That sometimes happens. I try to be as pretty solid as I can about the rules and being familiar with the game before I do a playthrough. I'm not in favor of blind playthroughs. I know a lot of people like to do those, but I prefer to have gathered up some experience with the game before attempting a playthrough that I would film and put on YouTube. So again, thanks very much for watching, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Click the little bell below the video, and you'll get notifications when I post new videos. So until the next playthrough / unboxing / whatever, this is Wild One signing off.